Hey, what's going, guys? How's it going? It's me, Deserter here. I'm just bringing you my little Magicka Arcainist Pvp build. Well, I've been rocking the last maybe week or so now. Obviously, we've chipped and changed a couple of gear sets here. Just trying to. I was trying to build like a subpar tanky sort of Arcanist, what can still do a good amount of damage without being super goddamn squishy. Because the problem is with the meta right now, everyone's so goddamn tanky and everyone's running around in giant ass ball groups. It kind of just sucks playing solo because you need to build a certain way. You kind of need a little bit more tankiness to you in order to survive out there nowadays. And it just sucks that the meta is that way. But regardless of the meta, this is what I come up with. I kind of wanted to go for something with the Gaze of Sithis, but I didn't want to run the Gaze of Sithis. But I liked the tanky aspect of what Gaze of Sithis does. So yeah, instead of that, we came up with this. So let's jump into it, shall we? Obviously, we're in one medium, four light, two heavy. In terms of the gear, you can see that I got Pirate Skeleton. Obviously, we're running the two-piece Pirate Skelly. This is so nice. This gives me my tankiness. Super, super handy to have. Um, it's a very old set, and people kind of sleep on this set, man. Um, I'm actually shocked on how strong it is still, to be honest. It's been working pretty wonderful for me. Obviously, we got divines on both of them pieces, both tray statted. Then I got a one piece training chest on a reinforced with a tray stat. And then we got spinners on my hands on the impen with a tray stat. I've got retro vitality on my waist, legs, and boots. They're all tray statted. Boots is well fitted. The legs are reinforced, and the sash is impen. So we've got two impen, two reinforced, two divines, one well fitted. In terms of my jewelry, we've got a swift on one of my rings, on the spinner ring, to be precise. And then I've got bloodthirsty on my death dealer feety. And then I have a infused on my neck. They've all been enchanted with the Magicka multi effect chant. So obviously you get your weapon, the spell damage, and then the mag recovery. Super, super handy and super, super nice to have. So all that additional raw damage, plus you get that 30 recovery. So super, super, super handy. Obviously, if I gold this ring out, we'll get a little bit more from that ring, but yeah, it is what it is. In terms of my main hand, which is I have two swords. Reason why I went with two swords because I felt like I was lacking a bit of damage, so I figured that I would go two swords for that additional passives with the swords. As you can see here with the swords, you get increased weapon and spell damage. Um, I just felt like it was a slightly better option. I was gonna go maces, but I thought I don't really need that extra pen because I can get pen from elsewhere. So I went with the swords. But we did go sharpened on the swords. On both of the swords, we went sharpened for that additional penetration. So not in order that I'm getting just extra damage, we're also getting extra penetration because we went sharpened on both of them. Obviously, one's got a poison enchant, and then the other one's got a absorb stamina for the Sundread passive status effect um, to apply to your enemy. And then obviously we have a powered healing staff for that 9% healing done on the back bar. I've not glyphed this, but if you're gonna glyph it, put weapon and spell damage enchant on it. I've just not done it because I keep forgetting. It was just one glyph I missed out when I made the build, and I keep forgetting, but it works without it, so I don't really care. I'm more of a casual player nowadays. I don't play the game as much as I used to. So, but yeah, obviously blue tree, fighting finesse. This is really nice. Obviously this is increasing my damage, but it's also increasing my healing done by 8%. So it's helping me offensively as well as it is helping me defensively. So very nice to be able to have that to help with offensiveness plus defensive methods. So that's super nice to have. Obviously, bite and aura. Uh, I went with this because it's damage done with area effects, and the beam just hits AoE. My flail hits AoE. So I feel like most of my damage is AoE, other than my obviously hemorrhage for the status hemorrhage with the bleed. That's just a single target pressure build skill. Obviously, my pull is just a stun skill. So realistically, I've got two skills what have mass AoE and do a ton of damage. So I figured, why not use Bite and Aura, right? So that's what we went with. Duelist rebuff. This reduces my damage from single target attacks. Because we all know that they're still out there, dude, spamming that dizzy swing, bruh. Like, one button bashes, hitting that dizzy. So, you know, that's going to help against them. And then we got Ironclad, which helps against all damage from direct damage by 6%. So, super nice. And then Red Tree, we got Survival Instincts. What this does is whenever I'm afflicted with any kind of status effect, which obviously we're in a status effect patch currently, so everyone's rocking the status effects, I'm going to get that 25% reduction cost. Super handy. Obviously, Pain's Refuge, whenever I'm hit by any negative effect, I'm then also going to take up to 20% maximum reduced damage. So that's super nice. And then obviously Sustained by Suffering. This just gives me a little bit of extra stam and mag recovery plus health recovery whenever I'm under status effects and negative effects up to a certain amount. And then obviously Celerity for the extra movement speed. So we're actually running at 16%. If I put this gold, it would probably go to like, I think Swift goes to 7, is it? 7 or 9? It's something like that, 7 or 9%. So if I put that ring gold, we're going to be running that additional extra speed. So that's super nice. Obviously, Green Tree doesn't typically matter. Most people normally just go after that one thing in the Green Tree, which is your break 4 here. This is just super handy to have. A lot of people normally go into Gifted Rider and War Mount as well. And Steed's Blessing, obviously most people take that. Some people take Liquid Efficiency, Rationer and stuff like that. So for me personally, I went with obviously Steed's Blessing, Master Crafter, or Master Gatherer should I say, Rationer and Treasure Hunter, just because that's just what I went with, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're a stage 3 vamp. Munderstone is the warrior. In terms of like my attribute points, I got 16 into max mage. We got 34 into max health, and then we got 14 into max stamina. In terms of my penetration, we're set at a 13k pen, which is very nice that we're at a 13k pen. It's, you know, super nice. Tons of penetration with this build. So super handy. We kind of need it with how tanky people are out there right now. It's kind of just stupid. In terms of the skills, front bar. This is my offensive bar with a dual wield. We've got Runes of the Colossus. This is my stun. When I'm ready to go and beam someone to death, I'll hit them with this and then I'll beam to try and catch them off guard with a stun. Obviously, we've got Rendering Slashes. This is a ton of bleed pressure. Plus, it adds that hemorrhage bleed status effect to them. Plus, their movement is reduced by 30% for the 4 seconds, so it slows them for the 4 seconds too, which is really, really nice. Obviously, we got Resolve and Vigor. This is going to give me my Minor Resolve, increasing my physical resistance by and spell resistance by nearly 3k for the 20 seconds. Plus, it gives me a ton of health in the process. Super nice to have. Obviously, we got our Flail. Our Flail does a ton of damage. Plus, it also generates cruxes. Plus, it immobilizes people for 3 seconds. And if they've already been immobilized, they get that Abyssal Ink for the 20 seconds. And it deals up to 100% more damage to enemies with less than 50% health. So it's actually an execute as well as a ton of pressure of damage. So it's super, super handy to have. Plus, you deal 5% damage to enemies drenched in Abyssal Ink. So if they've already been linked up, so if we've already hit them and we're still fighting them and they're not dead yet, after that consistent time, whenever I hit this ability, they're taking that 5% more damage consistently. So super nice to have. Pragmatic Fate Carver. The reason why I run this morph over the other morph is because it puts a damage absorption shield on me and it prevents me from being interrupted straight away. They have to burn through my damage absorption shield what I have active before they can interrupt me. So it's super handy to have. Plus, obviously, if you have all your crux up, the damage beam does 33% more and it decreases the cost by 16% per crux. So, you know, regardless, it's still nice. The other one snares enemies, where this one doesn't snare them, but you still do pretty much the same amount of damage, but you also gain a damage absorption shield. So it's just really nice and handy to have. Dawnbreaker of Smiting. This is my front bar ultimate. The reason why I run this, couple of reasons. Certain situations I may want to hit them with a Dawnbreaker and stun them. Obviously, one, it's an AoE stun, AoE ton of damage, does a lot of damage, and it's a nice stun. Plus, it does additional damage over the 6 seconds, so it kind of works kind of similar to a bleed in retrospect, but obviously it's physical damage and rather than bleed, right? And then furthermore, on top of that, we get that 3% for the Fighters Guild for having the Fighters Guild ability on my bar. We're getting additional 3% damage done increase. Plus, whenever we kill anyone, or if anyone dies from like, even if I light attack someone and then someone kills them within like 2 or 3 seconds or whatever, or like within like a minute, I'm still gonna get that ult because we've tagged him and we're in combat with them, right? So we'll get that ultimate back from the passives. So that's super nice for the ult gen, and just having an AoE stun really is just handy in certain situations. Obviously, back bar. I run a restoration staff, obviously, on my back bar. The reason why is because of the major mending for the 4 seconds. To have 16% healing done for 4 seconds, sometimes that is just all I need to put me back to full. Like, it's kind of stupid. Plus, I feel like trying to get a heavy attack with a restoration staff versus a heavy attack with an ice staff, it's harder for them to avoid a restoration staff. So therefore, I'm gonna get my full amount of magicka back. Where with an ice staff, I may have to do it a couple of times to be able to get my magicka back. That's the only problem. A lot of people can counter an ice staff missile coming at them, where restoration staff is on them. They can't do fuck all about it. So, therefore, that's why I run it. Obviously, we get 30% more max magicka back. Super, super nice. Increase the healing by 15%, plus allies under a certain under 30% health. You know, super handy, especially in group play. If I block every now and again, I'm gonna get 300 mag. I just think it's just a nice thing to have. You know, it's just nice. Plus, if you also heal yourself and allies within 15 meters of a target, 51% of the damage inflicted. The final hit fully charged heavy attack. So if we're all within the 15 meters and I fully heavy attack, I'm getting up to 51% of the damage what I inflict. So say I do 6k damage, right? Just say that my heavy attack does 6k. I'm getting a 3k heal back, just over a 3k heal. Like that's how you do the maps. Like it's just stupid. So that, I mean that's why I run it, right? It's just stupid. But yeah, back bar. We got race against time. This is nice. This is really nice to have on my bar. You don't know how many times like I'll get rooted or like put in talons or put in a fossilize, or you know we're slowed by caltrops or something crap, right? We're just slowed. Um, this allows me just to hit this and then I'm back moving nice and quick again, right? Like it just removes everything, allows me to get on my merry way, keep my speed up. Super nice to have. Plus, it allows me to have minor force for 20 seconds, which gives me my 30% critical damage. Well, it's 10% critical damage, sorry. The movement speed is 30% for 4 seconds. Yeah, the critical damage is 10%. I mean, it's still 10%, man. Like 10% is more than not 10%, right? So you might as well take it. But yeah, it's nice just to have that CC break, pretty much. Impervious ward. This is kind of like bread and butter to survive every now and again. Super nice for defensiveness. That being said, also nice if enemies are attacking you, they're actually doing damage to themselves as well. I normally tend to use this if I have 3 cruxes. If I have 3 cruxes up and I need to go defensive, this is like, oh shit, I've got 3 cruxes. This is my oh shit button, pretty much, right? Like I can go bang, pop that, put some more heals out. By that point, I probably got another 3 cruxes, whack it again, I'm back to full. No doubt about it. Obviously, we got involved in Room End. This is pretty much like a Vigor, but obviously because I'm Magicka based, it costs Magicka, so it's a Magicka Vigor. This is great. The only problem, what I will say with this, is if you're fighting with friends or fighting with other people, or you're around anyone else, just be careful of this, because this may go to someone else and not yourself. So you can't rely on this consistently. A lot of people try to rely on this consistently, and it's not a good thing to rely yourself on. The good thing is, though, is if the heal goes somewhere else and then it pops your last crux, like I say, hit your shit button. Because if you hit your shit button, you've got a ton of health back anyway. And then at that point, you could probably hit this, and then it's your turn to get this back. So take that into consideration. Crux Weave Armor. Oh, boy. This one is bread and butter. You want this buff up 100% of the time. I don't care. It's your mission in Arcainist life to keep this up in PvP. If you keep this up, you're set. Because if people attack you, they're getting the minor breach, what reduces their armor, right? You also get major resolve anyway from this, but you're also gaining crux. So if they're attacking you, you generate crux. So it's super nice. Highly keep that up. This last skill, Rune Guard of the Freedom. Typically, you don't really need this because obviously you get the same buff with the minor resolve from Vigor. But that being said, I still take this And hear me out. This is the reason why I take this. Reason why I take this, because if I drop below, say, 25% health, this kicks in. Like, it just kicks in. Like, it just floods. So, this has saved me more than I can care to imagine. Like, if I'm being totally honest with you lot, it's insane. And the fact that you get minor protection with this ability as well is super, super nice. So you're reducing 5% damage taken from players for 20 seconds with this. But the fact that if you drop below that 50% health and then someone hits you, you get flooded with so much health, but you also gain 3k armor. And this is what I was saying earlier at the start of the video. This is literally, like, this with Pirate Skelly is Gazer Sithers, right? Like, this Pirate Skelly with this skill, like, I've literally built Gazer Sithers without having them run Gazer Sithers. With just this ability and Pirate Skelly. It's probably, if not actually, better than Gazer Sithers, in my opinion, because you don't have to run Gazer Sithers. I like my Death Dealer too much to give it up. I think Death Dealer feat is such a good sustain set. It's just so nice to have. But yeah, that's pretty much the build, guys. If you want to go and try it out for yourself, please, by all means, feel free to. Give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe. You guys can check it out yourself. I'm just going to build my stacks up before we do go, because I want to see what I go to here. We're going to do it on this little 6 mil, because I don't think I get any buffs other than what I'm additionally putting out here on this guy. We won't get any buffs compared to if I was doing it on the big guy over there. So we're just going to build my stacks up, and then I'll show you what we're dealing with here. But as you can see, I'm at 4.3k weapon damage right now. Bear in mind, I'm not in PvP as well, so I think I'd gain. I think I'd go up to about 4.8 when I'm in PvP, like 4.7, 4.8, something like that. Alright, I'm at max stacks now, so let me kill that. Boom. That's the max stats. Bear in mind, I'm not in PvP. So we got just under 24.5k max match. We got 33k health. And just under 20k thing. When I'm in Cyrodiil, this does go higher. I think I go to about 37k health. I think I go to about 27k max mag. And then I think I go to about 21 to 22 max stamina. So we got tons of stuff to be able to dodge roll, evade. You know, I've got my oh shit gibbering shield button if I need it. Yeah, it's just super, super nice. Go and check it out for yourself. Like I say, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.